Great, so welcome back to grade 7 math. We are now looking at chapter 2.6, which is calculating tax and rebates. And when we're looking at tax of something and when we're looking at rebates, we have to look at, again, using the same rules for percents, which is part over whole equals P, or the percent, over 100. And given that, what we need to do is read the question and see what numbers fit into this whole, into this equation or into this formula. So let's look at this first one. An example, an item is on sale at 30% off the original price. If you saved $42, not including the tax, how much was the original price? Calculate what you would pay with 13% sales tax. So let's just draw a diagram out just to see if we can clarify what part is what. Let's let this bar represent the whole price of this item. So this whole bar represents the total price, the original price. Now I'm going to take off 30% from this original price. So approximately 30% is this. So this is 30% of the price. And if I saved $42, that means this part here is the $42 that I am saving from the original price. And so that means the leftover part is 70% because it must add up to 100%. So I'm asking what the whole amount is. What is the original price is the 100%, or the whole amount. So the part is this $42. The whole is the original cost because that's the whole 100%. P, the percent that I'm saving, is this 30%, and the 100 represents the original. So note where I put things. 42 is the part that I save. That matches with its partner 30. The original amount is the full 100%. So just by looking at this, I can see that I set things up in the right place when the proper numbers are paired together. Now I can use cross multiplication, and I can set a variable for original. Let's just call it x. So then to solve for x, I use cross multiplication. I could use scale factor in this problem, but my scale factor is a little bit strange in order to get from 42 to 30. So I'm just going to use cross multiplication instead. So I have $42 times the 100 divided by 30. Notice that I'm using a different format for writing division. I'm just using a large divided by sign. This is the same thing as x equals $42 times 100 divided by 30. The you'll get the same result even though it looks slightly different. Now to solve this problem, I'm just going to take out my calculator, and x is equal to 42 times 100 divided by 30, and I get the answer $140. So $140 represents the full 100%. Let's see if that makes sense. That means that it started at $140. About 30% of it, which is a third, well, this is about $150, and a third of $150 is about $50. So this is about right, that it's $42. Now it's asking how much I would calculate with 13% sales tax. Well, I need to know now the sale amount. So that's the 70% of this 140. So the sale amount, a couple ways I can get this is I could just subtract 140 minus the $42, meaning that I'm only paying $98 for this item. Now to find tax over total, or part over whole, equals P over 100. Now the percentage rate is 13%. So the total amount was $98. T I'll leave for tax, and it's 13 over 100. I'll find that tax is equal to 98 times 13 divided by 100. And my tax on $98 is $12.74. That means my total price, I'm running out of a little bit of room here, is equal to $98 plus the $12.74 tax, and that gives me the answer $110.74. Now let's look at a different problem that uses the same numbers. So I'm just going to use a little bit of space here. Now here, an item is on sale at 30% off the original price. If the sales price is $42, not including tax, how much was the original price? Calculate what you would pay with 13% sales tax. Well, again, so we can solve this by just drawing, and I have 30% off again. But now it's saying the sale price, that's this amount, is $42. So this was the 70%. And it's asking what was the full amount. So the full amount, or the original price, would need this extra 30. Oops, that should be a percent. That should be a percent. So the 70% over 100. The 70 represents the $42, and the original price represents the full amount. Notice that now I'm pairing the 70 with the 42 because that's what the that's what the sale price was. So this is very different from the first question, even though the numbers are the same. The original now, I solve it using cross multiplication, $42 times 100 divided by 70. And using my calculator, I get the answer is $60. The full amount is $60. Does that make sense that 42 is less than 60? Yes, and it's fairly close to $60 because 70% is still quite a fair amount. Now the question is, calculate what I would pay with 13% sales tax. Well, the $42 represented the sales price. So that means the tax rate is still 13%. Oops, 13% over 100. We don't know the tax, but the total amount was $42, not the $60 because I already have it on sale. So now I find the tax is equal to 42 times 13 divided by 100, and so my tax is $5.46. That means my total amount now is equal to $42 plus $5.46. So now I'm paying $47.46. Notice that we use the same numbers for both of the questions, but the 70% and the 30% and the sale price of $42, or the amount that I saved of $42, is slightly different, and it changes the entire question in terms of what I will be paying and what tax I'll be paying on that amount. So take a look at these two questions again, and if you have any questions, we could go over this in class, and we'll be going over the next two problems on tax as well to see if there's a faster way to find tax. So hopefully you understood this lesson.